Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one on M's reaction to the classic viral clip of actor Chris Pratt rapping his lyrics, and we also have more on how the story about KRS-One inspired Eminem. More on this in a moment. Today we also have one on another viral clip that made the rounds over the years of Snoop Dogg's story about when Tupac and Nas crossed paths when they were beefing, and we got to hear from Tupac's associate about his thoughts on Snoop Dogg's story, and this sparked some interesting reactions on social media. Today we also have more on the battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar that made 2024 one of the most memorable years in hip-hop music, and we got to hear from Common, who revealed another reason why this battle is one to remember. And before we get started, Snoop and Dre's Missionary album is projected to move 38,000 first week, and while some users believe it deserved better, but not surprising in 2024 when that's like a normal number for first week sales, another user clarified it might have made the top 10, but all into Christmas season there were weeks when a random album would reach top 5, so it definitely deserved better. And 38,000 first week is much more than most hip-hop albums have managed first week in 2024. And moving on, we've all heard the story from Snoop Dogg at some point about Tupac and Nas when they ran into each other.
What happened was Nas ain't got a lot of people with him, but he got a lot of people with him, if you know what I mean. And I'm seeing him and I'm knowing, because I'm a gangbang, I'm seeing with their hands on their guns. I step away from him and Nas right here, boom. Nas like, what's up, Pac? Man, I love your music, I'm a fan. That's what Pac say. If you a fan, I dissed you, Jay-Z, Biggie, he named off a gang of them up. I dissed all you on the song. And if you a fan and you ain't got no beef, don't say nothing. And Nas said, I love you. I never diss you. And he shook his hand and he hugged him. And then when he walked off, Pac said, yeah, I punked that. In my mind, I was like, nah, he let us slide.
And we got to hear from Outlaw's member, Young Noble, who recently spoke about Snoop's recollection of events on The Art of Dialogue. Check out a snippet.
It wasn't no, sort of amazing, wild stories that I done heard over these years. I'm gonna start with Snoop Dogg. Nothing but love for Snoop Dogg. He told a wild version, I think like with Snoop, like when not Snoop, Kendrick, the joint he just dropped, he was saying to Snoop, I hope it was the edibles. I hope it was the edibles when he said this one. Because he had a wild version of the story, like Nas had Pac surrounded and all that. But I'm to Snoop defense, right? Snoop didn't come with Pac to this park. Snoop got there in his vehicle, his security, however he did. So I think all the niggas that we had with us, they was outside the venue, all our Jersey niggas. The niggas ain't come inside the motherfucking awards. They was outside waiting for us to come out. So in my mind, I'm thinking maybe Snoop, he don't realize all these niggas is actually with Tupac. They're not with Nas. So to his defense, I'ma say that, you know what I mean? But he told a wild version of the story. It was a long time ago when I saw what he said, but it was something like, Nas, he had Pac surrounded, and it was almost like Snoop version was like, Pac, Nas could have snapped his finger and it was over for Pac. And I'm like, I don't know, in his mind, he smoked a lot of weed. It was almost 30 fucking years ago. But Snoop's version for sure was by far the most off version. It was no truth at all to his version of the story.
And users on the web have been going off in response to this snippet on social media. A user expanded, Snoop wasn't there and he's a liar. He's still hating on a dead man 30 years later. He apologized to Kendrick, but not Pac's family, for reposting that BS song. And we got more. Snoop always lying about something. Nas lied, Django lied, and Ed Lover lied about that night when they seen Tupac after the MTV Awards. And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts later, as some believe that this has got to be one of the most inconsistent stories in hip-hop. Check this out. I've heard this story from various sources, and some of the Outlaw stories don't match up with each other. Noble said Nas had 7 people. Fatal and his boys said Nas had 3 people. Napoleon said Nas was very deep. Nas people said Nas was very deep. Eric B said Nas was also very deep. Thoughts? And moving on, we got more from Eminem's interview, this time when he spoke about how KRS-One inspired a habit in his writing process. Check out a snippet.
Where is that M Bible at? Where do you hide this book in your house?
I have several books, actually. Like, I have stacks and stacks of books. I remember who told me, I think it was Alchemist told me this crazy story about KRS-One, and that he came into the studio with like a bag full of books. And I was like, yo, that's so crazy. This is 20 years ago he told me this story. He was like, yo, you should have seen KRS-One was like, and he was just picking up a book and like reading raps off the paper. And I was like, how the fuck does he have that many books? Now I have that many books.
Wow. You gotta have a career long enough to have that many books, right?
Yeah, now I save every book. I used to not. I used to just take a piece of paper if it was just sitting there on the table and just write on it, stick it in my pocket. Now I keep them in books. So I got bags full of books now, like KRS-One probably has. Now KRS-One probably has twice as many books than I have, because he had twice as many back then.
Right. Do you think you and KRS-One might ever trade books?
That'd be great.
That'd be incredible, right?
Yeah.
We should find out. Just one for one, so you can see what his looks like, and we can see what she can see what yours looks like. Pause.
No one will ever understand what is in my book, because it's just scribble scrabble. Like, you don't even know, nothing's really connected. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just me writing the thought down as soon as I get it, so I don't forget it. So it just looks like a bunch of fucking scribble scrabble.
He's not lying. It's like chicken scratch. I mean, you can see some of it. We put out a book a while back called The Way I Am, and it had a lot of his lyric pages in there. And
I don't know why I did that. I should have never did that.
No, it's incredible. They're like works of art. They're super interesting to look at. But you can go and look at them and see what he's talking about. And it's just these sort of amazing. It almost looks like Beautiful Mind, the way that it's all like chaotic and it's like organized chaos.
And Paul Rosenberg wasn't exaggerating when he referenced Beautiful Mind, as we have all seen this that was reportedly for Lose Yourself that some people believe belong in a museum at this point. And we got more on this classic viral video of Chris Pratt rapping Forgot About Dre.
Chronic 2001, around that time came out.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of like my Peter Quill mix. I listened to that. Me and my friend lived in a van in Maui, and we listened to that and smoked weed every day.
Get the fuck out of here, Chris.
I know every
I'm about to call Marshall. Let's go.
I tell you what, I know every word to that album. You
prove it.
Prove it. What do you want me to say? Nowadays, everybody want to talk. They got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. Motherfuckers act that they forgot about Dre. So what do you say to somebody you hate? What? Anyone trying to make trouble you wait? Want to resolve things in the buddy you wait? Well, just study your tape of NWA. Next to a humongous truck in a two-car garage. Walking out with two broken legs, trying to walk it off. Fuck you too. Call the cops. I'ma kill you when them loud-ass motherfucking barking dogs choke you to death with the Tarleton chew. Chicka Slim Shady. Hotter than a set of twin babies. In Mercedes Benz with the windows up to the tempos up to the mid-80s. I call them men ladies. Side doc, but I've been crazy. It's okay. Go to him, Haley.
Yo, he did it with him, yo.
And this was brought up in the latest interview. Check out a snippet.
Oh, Chris Pratt. Yeah. That was on your show too, right? I would like how all of the moments that are your favorite were on your show.
Yeah. So Chris Pratt, Guardians of the Galaxy. It was me and Reef, and we threatened him. He was like, yo, he said, I used to smoke weed and rap Eminem joints all day. We were like, yeah, right. So he forgot about Dre from beginning to end.
He sure
did. That went so viral that he put it on his own page.
Yeah, that was dope. I seen that.
So, see, I'm glad Eminem saw that.
Nowadays, everybody want to talk. They got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. It's a bunch of gibberish. And they forgot about Dre.
Well, because he was rapping my lyrics, so of course I'm gonna know.
That was good, right?
That was amazing, Paul.
Very, very good.
You tricked me so
well. It's a
well.
combination of my voice and Big Bird, and it makes Eminem.
Paul used to lay my reference tracks for me.
Right.
He used to lay my reference vocals, how I should say it.
It all comes out in the wash.
Have I been saying it all these years, Paul? Have I been saying it like you wrote it, or am I off slightly each time?
No, you do a pretty good job.
Now, for those wondering why they didn't go into detail about the death of Slim Shady and all that during the interview, that's because this was meant to celebrate 20 years of the radio station Shade 45. So the quest for an interview in which Eminem actually talks about his latest album, is one that will continue into 2025. That is, if we ever get one. And moving on, back in the 2010s, rapper Common and Drake had a beef that reportedly stemmed from both rappers dating Serena Williams. Of course, this beef has been reportedly over for some time now, and we got to hear from Common recently where he reviewed who he believes won the battle between Kendrick and Drake, and he also reviewed why this was a special battle that sparked debates. Check out a snippet from the Earn Your Leisure podcast.
Drake was delivering and then Kendrick came and then Kendrick kept giving them blows and then he just like did what he had to do and just, man, he came out the victor. He was the victor, like just point blank, he won. If you're asking is a victory for me, I think it's just a victory for hip hop that battle went down the way it did and had people paying attention to lyrics and hip hop. Like different generations was paying attention to that. Like I had some of my youngins hitting me up like, yo, you hear the new one? And then people my age hitting me up like, yo, you hear what, you hear what Drake just dropped? You heard what Kendrick said? I love that Kendrick is within a battle is able to give you like lessons and spiritual things. I'm like, damn, that is crazy. But the truth, this dude dropping like knowledge and still battling. It's like ridiculous. But that being said, it's funny you said like he's a revolutionary and still dangerous, because when we think about it, our revolutionaries were dangerous. They are dangerous for their people. And at the end of the day, Kendrick is dangerous for his people. So I got nothing but
you gotta protect them.
Love for him.
Protect our people.
However, due to Common's history with Drake, some have called him out. Common is still mad about what Drake did to him and stay scheming. Loudly crying emoji. And more on this note, I get tired of hearing opinions from folks he beefed with like they're gonna say anything but things like this, LOL. Common, Pusha T, Joe Budden, etc. But to be fair, most people agree that Kendrick won. It is not just people he had beef with that have come to such conclusions. And check this out, the people are easily manipulated by their favorite artist. But when you have this amount of actual MCs saying Kendrick won, tells you everything you need to know. MCs are either saying Kendrick won or it was a good battle. Laughing emojis. None of them are saying Drake won, except for OVO rappers. However, the whole spiritual angle that Common pointed out isn't sitting well with some fans, as some are asking, can someone tell me what he said that was so spiritual? I'm genuinely asking, no shade. And I'll throw this question over to you guys in the comment section, as this one continued to be a bone of contention. Miss me with that BS, there was nothing spiritual in those songs. And now we even got some users claiming that the overall battle is being overrated by the industry's hate for Drake. Check this out. Unpopular opinion, I think y'all have this battle ranked so high, it's cause y'all hate who lost. There has been way better diss records than what we got from these two, but I get it. The strategy of what Kendrick took him out was surgical, but the music was some mid, and I'll be looking forward to your dissertations on these topics in the comment section, as we usually learn a lot from you guys sometimes, like when we found out Drake was even more foundational Black American than El Jamar. So feel free to expand in the comments. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more, and see you on the next one.